The demon-slaying sword that the blacksmith showcased is shiny enough to reflect the image of Yeon-myeong. As for his sidekick Mirio and Yeonjeong, they are amazed by how extravagant it looks. Yeonjeong is someone who has no expertise when it comes to swords, but even she can tell in a glance how amazing the sword is. The shorty tells them that the sword was not crafted by him but his master, who was an expert in his work. Unfortunately, he passed away from illness, so he took over and relentlessly worked on the sword and finished it. While telling this, he is very proud of this achievement, and asks Yeon-myeong what he thinks of this sword. He can proudly say that the sword is worthy of being called a masterpiece. Even to the eyes of our Chad, this is an amazing sword that it is good enough to be on par with the sword he used in his past life. He can feel the sharpness radiating from it constantly. Yeon-myeong tells Shorty that it is a brilliant sword, however he doesn't need a sword of this caliber. This shocks the blacksmith, so he asks Yeon-myeong if the sword didn't meet his expectations. Yeon-myeong sighs and tells him that it's quite the opposite. He should be proud of the sword he has created, and our Chad is thankful that he showed it to him. This is the reason he thinks that the sword ID too much for him. The real reason is that a sword of this quality would only draw unnecessary attention because of how well it's crafted, so a simple sword suits him better. Yeon-myeong tells Shorty that he will pick the one that he picked up earlier. Hearing this, the blacksmith gets disappointed, telling him that if that's what he wants, he has no choice but to comply. That when a group of brain-dead nonsense third-class characters enter the scene, I guess even trash needs to be given screen time. Seeing them, the shorty makes an unexpected reaction as if he is scared, calling the man in front young Master Yun. He is pissed because he ordered Shorty to bring in the best sword in the shop, yet he deceived him and hid such a masterpiece from him. We will call this retard him Rotten Ginger cause his face resembles one. This ginger cannot fathom that a mere blacksmith dare to mock him. This ginger has too much spice because he is clearly deluded. Shorty is nervous as he tells him that it's clearly a misunderstanding, while our Chad is hearing this nonsense shown by a one-chapter character. Yeon-myeong is a bit confused because in between a bunch of ants there is a strange aura coming from few of them, which is strange to our boy. Seeing this, Snaky manifests items, telling Yeon-myeong that he felt something wrong, and his suspicion was right, it is clearly demonic energy. Snaky has faced them few times with the invisible guest, as he asks Yeon-myeong if this is his first time seeing them. According to Yeon-myeong, this is his first time seeing one in person, as he has only heard about them. He asks Snaky what these demon pests are doing in Sichuan, but Snaky is unaware but suggests that he can just capture one and interrogate him. This gingers is not only rotten but dumb as well, as he orders Yeon-myeong to step aside because he is going to kill the blacksmith, and if Yeon-myeong does not move he will kill our Chad first. Trash literally unlocked first grade nonsense. Yeon-myeong gets pissed, telling him that his mouth is too foul for a brat. This pisses of the ginger, but who cares? With a finger flake he knocks this ugly ginger out. All this talk and bro is this week. Seeing him fall to the ground, his guards make a reaction as if an old granny has been killed. Yeon-myeong tells Ginger that at his level, no matter how good he is with the sword, he won't be able to use this sword properly, so he should come back after 20 years of training. Seeing our Chad acting cool, Mirio is shocked, as for Yeonjeong she is acting as if she fell from the sky. One guard starts barking like a dog, telling Yeon-myeong that how dare he lay hands on the grandson of Nam Jin-soon, the lord of Hyunyang sect, which is protected by the Black Death Alliance, warning Yeon-myeong to not expect to live after what he did. Can we move forward? Just how much nonsense can this side character spout? This nonsense pisses Yeon-myeong off as he tells them that he doesn't care about his status, and asks them what's their connection to the demonic sect. Hearing this, they all make mixed reaction, as there is one in between them that looks like the boss who will be one shot by our Chad. Yeonjeong asks Yeon-myeong where they came from, as she and our so-called guard Mirio is scared. We then move on to the ginger as he looks back nervously. This third-rate copy of Bae in this he is something, as he is angry that Yeon-myeong called their sect with a slur, and if our Chad doesn't value his life. The guards tells this was to stay behind them, but instead their head goes flying around. Seeing them dead, the ginger now loses all its flavor, falling to the ground. Many demonic soldiers pop up from the ground as the leader tells them that from now onward they, the Heavenly Moon Brigade, will be taking care of this ginger. The rest of his previous guards gets killed. The ugly punk is amazed by the fact that Yeon-myeong saw through their concealment that was perfect. Moving on to Yeon-myeong, he doesn't care as for his subordinates, all of them are crying and his useless guard Mirio is amazed by just what is happening, but what shocked all three of them further is when Yeon-myeong tells them that with the stench of the demon turds reeking from a mile away he could see them from a mile. Yeon-myeong should switch professions and become a roaster, since he tells him that if he was trying to hide his identity, the least he should do is cover his face properly. Mirio thinks that he has gone crazy to roast someone on their looks. As for the bald head, he is holding himself from attacking, telling Yeon-myeong that even after seeing every one of them getting killed he still doesn't feel the sense of urgency. Yeon-myeong asks Shorty to lend him a sword and he takes a hold of the masterpiece, as Yeon-myeong tells him that if it's urgency he is talking about, it's them that should worry about it instead. Our roaster Yeon-myeong tells them that from where he is standing, them and the ones they killed are all same to him. This pisses Bald Head so much that he orders his minions to escort the young master as he is seriously going to kill out Chad. Yeon-myeong wasn't wrong when he called him ugly. Dude looks like the fresh turd my dog just released while I was writing this script. One of turds grabs onto Ginger, but Yeon-myeong gets surprised when the young master does not recognize them at all. According to Yeon-myeong's observation, this brat probably is not aware of their identities. That's when a voice curses our Chad. It's that ugly fart that is pissed and attacks our Chad for ignoring him. With no reaction his face, Yeon-myeong blocks his attack, and because of the strong exchange of sword a mini explosion occurs. Ugly fart thought that he was faster, but still he got knocked back, as he stares at our Chad, who was unfazed even after the exchange of their swords. All of a sudden his world starts spinning and he thinks of counterattacking only to find himself dead, while all his subordinates watches his head rolling around. Mirio and Yeonjeong are shocked to witness what just happened. Ginger has almost turned into a paste. While Yeon-myeong is standing in front of the headless body, bro has immaculate drip. According to Yeon-myeong, after swinging the sword, he can definitely feel that it is a masterpiece. The weight distribution between the hilt and blade is near perfect and it's razor sharp without a drop of blood staining it. He tells Shorty that it is truly a masterpiece and he is who carried his legacy as someone amazing as well. Hearing this, Shorty starts to tear up. In a flashback we can see Senior Shorty making this sword, telling Junior Shorty that every valuable object will eventually find its rightful owner, so the sword he is crafting will find its master someday. So no matter what happens he must give this sword to the person who can appreciate its worth. Looking at out Chad, he thinks that he has finally found its rightful owner. Moving on to Yeon-myeong, he asks them if any of them wants more, and suggests them to all attack at once. The next moment this group of nonsense charges towards our Chad, telling him to not underestimate them. Yeon-myeong smiles at them and with a single slash he rips through half of them, then like dancing in water with a set of extremely delicate and fast movements he kills them all with single consecutive strikes. Seeing this, Ginger has decides to turn back into a human. Shorty is also short of words. The girls are shocked and Mirio is getting tired from being surprised, and it's amusing that she was not aware when our Chad learned swordsmanship. This is it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for another part and check out the recent series we have picked up.